Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Dad. What's going on?
Music, man. Music.
Hey, that's our thing.
That's right. Even without 76 trombones.
Even without 76 try. I don't really understand people that don't like music, or not that don't like music, but that don't like have music on all the time. It doesn't make sense to me.
And on top of that, people who don't sing.
I mean, I can get away without singing, but like I have to have music on.
I'll agree with that. And I don't sing all the time, but some songs they're playing and I have to sing along. I've talked to different friends and acquaintances. I go, hey, do you sing along with music, like in the shower or in the car or what? No. I said, you got to be kidding me. All my life, I've been a singer in private. Nobody wants to hear me sing in public or in front of them. Uh, I learned that ages ago. But when I'm by myself, I can't help but sing. And apparently, there's a lot of people who don't sing at all, and I don't get it.
Express joy.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, and music's just awesome. I could literally have music on pretty much all the time.
The some poet, I have no idea who it was, said, "Music hath charms that soothe the savage breast."
Breast or beast?
Breast.
Hmm.
Although I have heard it both ways, but I think breast is the real.
So
Correct me if I'm wrong, viewers.
yeah, we got to keep this clean. Keep it PG-13.
That's
What's
right.
what's a savage breast? I don't want to know. Don't Google it. Don't
Yeah,
Google savage breast.
right, right. Yeah.
All right. So what are we doing today?
Well, for one thing, I'd like to thank our viewers for their comments and suggestions. And since our last video that we did, I took out some time and I went through and read as many of the comments as I could and took down their suggestions. And I've started listening to some of the ones they suggested. And we had a few winners in there.
Oh,
One viewer suggested a song by The Tubes called "What Do You Want from Life?" I liked it
hmm.
and put it on my list. Um, there were several additional suggestions for Little Dicky. One called Earth, one called Too High, one called Molly.
Yeah.
The one called Earth, I very much enjoyed the video. I doubt if I would listen to it just as the music itself, but with the video, I really liked that one. Uh, Someone suggested another Jeff Buckley tune, Grace. Didn't care for it. I listened to a couple other Jeff Buckley ones, and they didn't really grab me. He's not my cup of tea, apparently.
Well, see, there you go. He's in the 90s, I think. So see, you
Uh,
know,
and there were several suggestions for Radiohead. Of course, they've got a big following, and people had a bunch of songs to listen to them. And I listened to several and didn't really care for any of them. I'm sorry, Radiohead people. Those just didn't grab me. Pyramid Song, Codex, Sail to the Moon. Nah,
yeah, I don't know what to say there because they're one of my favorite bands.
there you go. Who can figure? Um, Somebody called Aesthetic Perfection, song called Supernatural. Sorry, folks, that one didn't grab me. Um, Van Halen. We had a lot of suggestions on Van Halen. The one thing I did was listened to the whole album Fools. Is that the album?
Probably not.
Women and Children First.
Yeah.
That has Fools on it, I
Yep.
think.
Yep.
Okay. I listened to all of Women and Children First. I already had 2 songs from there on my list. Tell me which ones.
Probably the Cradle Will Rock
Yes.
and Take Your Whiskey Home.
No.
No.
Ships on the Water, Magic something. Could This Be Magic?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
So I listened to the rest of the album, didn't add any more from the album. Those 2 are still the only ones from the album that are on my list. And one other one, someone named Marlon Williams, who I'd never heard of before, a song called Miss Lonesome. And I liked it and put it on my list. So thank you to our viewers. The comments and suggestions are always welcome. I'll eventually get around to listening to the suggestions.
Wow, that's amazing. Good work. And yeah, it sounds like at least out of the suggestions, there was a couple of winners. So, that's something.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, part of this game is trying to figure out what the heck makes you tick. So, hey, if people have other ideas, then great. It's just grist for the mill.
Well, and of course, that's the thing. I doubt that they were basing their suggestions on what they thought maybe my taste was. They're basing their suggestions on the ones they like and are impressed by and assume that everybody else must like it too. But hey, give it a try.
Give it a try. Awesome.
All right, so I've got one from my list as an example of something that I like. It is not rock and roll. Genre, I would have to call it Latino rap.
Okay.
For lack of a better description.
Okay. All right.
It's the title of it is 1977. It's by a female artist, Anna Tijoux, I think maybe would be the pronunciation. Tijou is her last name.
Sounds like French or something, or
she's part Colombian and part French, I believe.
Okay.
But I originally heard this song on the TV series Breaking Bad.
And you have your
I have my Heisenberg sweatshirt on today. That's where I first heard this one, and I like it. So if you want to hear it and give me your comments, we can play it.
And we're going to try and include the video here. So we'll see how that goes.
All right, say when.
All right, you ready? So I'm going to count to 3 and we'll hit go.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Cuando las serpientes evolucionaron más rápido que muchos venenos. Noten la diferencia entre una serpiente venenosa y otra que no lo es por las marcas que deja.
1970, 1970, 1970, 1970. Nací un día de junio del año 77, planeta Mercurio y el año de la serpiente. Signo patente tatuado y en mi frente que en el vientre de mi madre marcaba el paso siguiente. Nacer, llorar sin anestesia en la camilla. Mi padre solo dijo es Ana María. Sí sería el primer llanto que me probaría, que mandó las heridas y dándome la batería. Solía ser entonces como un libro abierto, pero leí la letra pequeña del texto. Como un arquitecto construyendo cada efecto. Correcto, incorrecto, se aprende todo al respecto. Saber que algunas personas quieren el daño. Subir peldaño toma tiempo, toma años. Con mi peluche mirando lo cotidiano, dibujos transformaban el invierno en gran verano. Papá me regaló bajo mi insistencia un juego que trataba de compartir la solvencia, pero en el patio hicieron la competencia. Fue cuando sentí mi primera impotencia. 1970 y 1970 y 1970 1977, no me diga no, que no lo presiento. Todo lo que cambia lo hará diferente en el año que nació la serpiente. 1977, no me diga no, que no lo presiento. Todo lo que cambia lo hará diferente en el año que nació la serpiente. Mi adolescencia fue una etapa bizarra. El cuerpo es batería y la cabeza guitarra. La orquesta narra una tonada quebrada para la mirada de una niña que solo talla espada. Hormona disparada, sobrepobladas de información que cambian temporadas. Caminas encrucijada, cada cual en su morada preparaba la carnada. La sagrada diablada de mirada encabronada. Mi fila la verdad nunca buscó su silla. Mi búsqueda fue mero proceso de pura pila. Pupila de poeta que marcó nuestra saliva. En la cordillera que miraba la salida. La parada militar de paso monótono. Colores policromos, los uniformes de poco tono. De tono mi cuestionamiento, la voz y sonó, no. Mi primera rima que sonó y me enroló. Mi búsqueda no fue para mi cosa de escenario. Fue algo necesario y que marcaba ya mi fallo. Así que tú hablas más de lo necesario. Fue cuando entendí que todos quieren ser corsario. 1970 y 1970 y 1970 1977, no me diga no, que no lo presiento. Todo lo que cambia lo hará diferente en el año que nació la serpiente. 1977, no me diga no, que no lo presiento. Todo lo que cambia lo hará diferente en el año que nació la serpiente.
Interesting. So was that actually on an episode or was that like on a soundtrack? Sometimes they'll put stuff on the soundtrack that wasn't necessarily in an episode.
It was in an episode, not the whole thing, a part of it. I actually picked up several songs from Breaking Bad that I liked, and none of them were the whole song. They were all just portions.
Interesting. I like it. And I think your description was pretty spot on, right? Like Latina rap or something, right? It's like, well, yeah, okay, I think that sounds pretty good.
And of course, I have no idea what she's saying. It could be obscene. It could be, who knows?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Very little Spanish.
Yeah, I know more Spanish than you, and I couldn't pick up on anything she was saying either. So.
¿Qué pasa?
¿Cómo
se llama?
I took 3 semesters of Spanish in college.
Mi casa es su casa.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's it. I know a little bit more than that, and I can certainly understand more than I can speak, which is pretty typical. But yeah, she was going way too fast for me to pick up anything.
Spanish speakers in movies and TV shows, that it all sounds so fast. It's like, man, not only do you have to learn the words and the vocabulary, etc., you got to learn to do it fast.
Well, I do most things fast, but not speaking another language. Yeah, I like that. I could imagine putting that on my. I was talking to you earlier about like on Spotify, where you can make your own stations, right? And you can you listen to a song and you like it, and you're like, I want that in this channel of mine, right? And you just kind of put it in your channel, right? And then I could imagine putting that in my hip hop channel.
All right.
Yeah,
I have listened to a few others of hers, and they didn't grab me like this one did. It could be the Breaking Bad effect that imprinted it or something, but I like it.
So, because we kind of make you rate pretty much all the music, even if it's your music, to sort of like figure this out. So what would you give that song for yourself?
Well, it's got to be up there pretty good to be as high as it is in my favorites. So I'd have to give it a 9.
Wow. Wow.
And having heard it for the first time, what would you give it?
A 7.5.
That ain't bad. That ain't bad. Good. I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think both of us are fairly strict scorers. So yeah, I think anything that gets 6 and above is actually pretty decent.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. I like it. Thanks for introducing me to that. Anna, what was it?
Tijoux.
Tijoux.
Tijou.
X.
X?
Tijoux, I think.
Yes, you're right.
1977.
Tijoux, yes.
Yeah, very cool. All right. Go figure. You're sharing hip hop. Okay. Who would have expected that one?
Just to go to show you, my tastes aren't entirely limited to 70s rock and roll.
Or predictable.
Are predictable. As we go along with future videos, I'll introduce some other ones that are off the beaten path, shall we say?
I think that's a good idea.
Are favorites of mine.
I think that's a good idea. Although, as we've discovered, nobody watches those videos.
You got a point there. It'll be hard to get suggestions based on those.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Excellent. Cool. Yeah, that's a good one. I like it. I'm excited. I wrote it down. When I get in my car, put it on my Spotify playlist, see what comes up in relation to it. Actually, one of the things you can do is you can like type in somebody's name and it'll be like Anna Tijoux radio. And so it'll play her, but it'll play other things similar, right?
Right.
And that's always fun, right? To kind of get exposed to some different things.
Yes.
All right, cool. Excellent. Any last words to our audience before we sign off?
Keep the comments and suggestions coming. Might take us a while to get around to them, but we appreciate them.
Thanks, guys. This is the universal sign for push the buttons.
Subscribe and like and all that.
All right. All right, cool. Peace out.
Thank you, everybody.